It's been a deadly year on Minnesota roads. There have been more traffic fatalities this year than we've seen in more than a decade, and officials say speeding is a big factor. The Minnesota State Patrol says it is issuing tickets to an increasingly higher number of drivers going more than 100 miles per hour. As reporter Sonia Goins shows us, some of the speeding is taking place here in the northwest suburbs.
The Minnesota State Patrol says when traffic was reduced during the pandemic, they thought they would see a reduction in fatal accidents, but it's been the opposite this year.
When you look at 443 deaths on roadways, 143 of those are from speeds alone. It's a problem.
Lieutenant Gordon Shank says troopers are not only seeing an increase in people speeding, but the speed at which drivers are going, some pushing 100 miles per hour.
Over 100 miles an hour is dangerous. I mean, it's dangerous no matter what climate you're in, what condition you're in, what roadway you're on.
And some drivers in the Northwest Metro like to go over the speed limit. A trooper recently caught a motorist going 130 miles per hour off of 94 here in Brooklyn Center. The speed limit in this area is only 60 miles per hour.
Going 130 on a roadway is not acceptable. And so if you see that happening, call 911.
And this summer, a Maple Grove officer clocked a driver going 105 miles per hour on Highway 610 near Elm Creek Boulevard. That's 40 miles per hour over the speed limit.
I can't think of a time where that would be acceptable or the excuse would be justifiable to go that fast.
And there are ramifications for speeding. Fines double when speeds exceed 20 miles per hour over the limit. And if you drive 100 miles per hour, your driver's license could be suspended for 6 months.
Not acceptable, not safe, not best practice for driving on these roads.
Sonia Goins, CCX News.
The state recorded its 400th traffic fatality on October 23rd. This is the earliest date the state has reached the 400 traffic fatality mark since 2007. The chief judge of Hennepin County District Court says a court backlog continues to be a challenge. According to Judge Todd Barnett, there's a backlog of 3,000 cases in Hennepin County. A directive from the Minnesota Supreme Court Justice prioritizes felony and gross misdemeanor cases. Judge Barnett says 89% of court hearings have been held remotely this year. State health officials say Minnesota is in the middle of a COVID blizzard. For the first time since last December, the COVID-19 test positivity rate is above 10% in Minnesota. Above 10% is considered high risk for the spread of the virus. According to Hennepin County's COVID-19 dashboard, several northwest suburbs have among the highest infection rates. The latest federal data also shows Minnesota's rate of new infections is the worst in the nation over a recent 7-day period. Hospitals like North Memorial Health in Robbinsdale are at patient capacity with record numbers of COVID patients. State health officials say more vaccinations and booster shots will make a difference, especially with early recipients of the vaccine encountering waning immunity. The Robbinsdale School Board passed a measure earlier this month that will require all staff to either be vaccinated for COVID-19 or submit to regular testing. The board said this recommendation came from the different bargaining units representing staff. Under the policy, teachers and other staff will have to provide proof of vaccination or weekly updates on testing. Any staff member who doesn't comply will be subject to disciplinary action. The policy goes into effect no later than January 1st. Now that the state's eviction moratorium has ended, the city of Brooklyn Center passed the first reading of an ordinance this month to further protect tenants. Low vacancy rates also factored into the city's decision. The tenant protection ordinance would be similar to ones approved in Minneapolis and in St. Louis Park. It would require landowners to provide a 30-day written notice prior to filing for an eviction. In addition, the city would restrict evictions to non-payment of rent or significant breach of lease. The City Council expects to give final approval at a future meeting. When it comes to school, not every student learns the same way. In today's School Spotlight, Nina Bupasavan shows us how the Osseo Area Learning Center has been able to help students thrive with its diverse approach to courses.
12th grader Antiana Walker has a new, unique vision that takes time and special effort.
Before this year, I never thought about doing art classes. And I actually enjoy the painting and stuff.
A personal discovery made possible by enrolling at the Osseo Area Learning Center in Brooklyn Park. The school services students from across the district, and it's a place where students have different ways to expand on their gifts and honor their personal timing.
It's very different from my other school because it's very self-paced.
We try to take scholars where they're at and help them get where they want to be, right? So we really look at that whole scholar and create those individualized, personalized pathways and work with them on that next step and that goal.
Goals that look different for everyone. For Antiana, it's college and exploring more creative expression.
It makes me put more effort into doing the work, makes me want to actually come to school.
So we have scholars who accelerate and some who take a little bit longer, but they're always making forward progress.
Progress made daily with the help of staff that truly cares.
We really talk about here that every scholar is all of our responsibility all of the time, and I think that's something that's really unique to us because we do have those relationships, and that's really where we see a lot of the results that we do.
Nina Bupasavan, CCX News.
And finally, a reason to stop by the Robbin Gallery this week.
Anyone who has even a little interest in art should come in and view because the level of expertise is quite incredible this year.
Artists from Two Harbors down to Mankato submitted work for a juried show at the Robbin Gallery in Robbinsdale that runs from now until Saturday, December 4th. Artists statewide could exhibit up to 2 pieces for the show. Here's a look at a few of the more than 50 pieces on exhibit right now.